You're not starting over. You're like a tree that's been pruned. Looks like a loss, all those branches gone, but underground, the root system is strengthening, going deeper. What grows back will be fed by roots that reach depths the old branches never required. Everything you learned comes with you. You're not erasing the past, you're integrating it. But this only happens if you choose it. It's a conscious choice. Are you going to write your next chapter or drift? Hi there, and welcome to the Conscious Divorce Podcast. Today's episode is From We to Me, Reclaiming Yourself in Divorce. I'm your host, Justin Milrad. Before we begin, a quick note. This podcast is designed to share ideas, stories, and insights from my years working in the mental health field, helping individuals navigate divorce through my coaching practice and from my own personal lived experiences. I'm not a therapist, attorney, or doctor. So this podcast is meant to complement, not replace, professional guidance from such qualified experts. If this episode helps you today, do me a favor, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Hit that subscribe button and drop a review. It makes a huge difference in the number of people that we can reach and help. Now let's get real about something that no one prepares you for. I'll start with this story. My client Beth walked into my office unable to finish a sentence without crying. 3 months post-divorce, she said, "Justin, I spent 6 months on my sister's couch because I couldn't sleep alone. But it wasn't just the bed. I didn't know who I was supposed to be anymore." If you've been through divorce or you're in it now, you know exactly what Beth meant. You stopped being I and became we. Your identity merged when you got married. And now you're staring in the mirror asking, who am I when I'm not part of a we? Here's what we're covering. How the we identity forms and why losing it feels like losing yourself. The pain of disruption using gap versus gain thinking. You can see this as everything you lost or everything you're learning. That choice changes everything. The pathways to me, the principles that help you write your next chapter instead of drifting, and how to live as me while still connecting and co-parenting. Because if you have kids, your family hasn't ended, it's just changed shape. This transition from we to me was one of the hardest parts of my own divorce. When the marriage ended, I lost my identity as a husband, a full-time daily father, part of an extended family I loved, and a business partner, all at once. But here's what I learned. That emptiness you feel, it's not empty, it's potential. It's the space where your authentic self has been waiting. And here's what I need you to understand. This is your wake-up call, not your funeral. Let's dig in. Let's talk about understanding the we identity. When you fell in love, you started saying we. It felt romantic, connected. But over time, we stopped being two people choosing together. It became one merged identity. You filtered everything through our lens. You lost track of where you ended and where they began. For parents, you weren't just dad or mom. You were mom and dad together, a family unit. So here's a powerful reframe. Here's what I need you to hear and hear well. If you have children, your family has not ended. You will always be a family. It has just changed shape. You're still a family. Your kids still have parents who love them. You're just a family across two households now. That's not broken. That's restructured. If you're thinking the family ended, you're stuck in gap thinking. What did I lose? What am I missing? But if you see it change shape, you're in possibility. What can this new structure offer? How can I be more present? So here's a personal story. In my case, I lost more than a spouse. I lost my place in an extended family I cherished. Holidays, traditions, these were my family. And we had a business together. Our clients knew us as a team. So I lost being a husband, a full-time daily father, my place in the extended family, and my business partner identity. Here's where my brain went crazy. At 3 a.m. one morning, I was obsessing about where I'd be buried when I died. I know, right? Her family had plots, generations planned out. I'd always assume that's where I'd end up, right next to her. We even talked about it, but now, gone. My brain spiraled. I was sweating. I couldn't sleep. Where will I be buried? Who will I be next to? Will I be alone? That panic taught me about gap versus gain. I was focused on the gap. I lost my place, my plot, my spot in that family's eternal story. But when I pulled out of that spiral, what's the gain? I'd been outsourcing even my death to someone else's plan. I was never asked what I wanted. That panic was a gift. It showed me how deeply I'd abdicated authorship of my life. Gap thinking asks, what did I lose? What's missing? What's wrong? Gain thinking asks, what did I learn? What's possible now? What am I discovering? The losses are real, but if you only focus on the gap, you stay trapped. If you can ask what you're gaining, even from pain, you transform. Gap versus gain comes from Dan Sullivan's Strategic Coach program. It's one of the most powerful mindset tools to help in many aspects of your life. I find it extremely valuable for divorce recovery. Gap thinking measures your current situation against an ideal. It focuses on what's missing, what you lost, what went wrong, the distance between where you are and where you wish you were. Gain thinking measures against where you started. It focuses on progress, learning, and growth. It asks, how far have I come? What have I learned? What am I capable of now that I wasn't before? Gap. I lost my marriage. I'm alone. I failed. Gain. What am I learning? What patterns can I now see? I have 3 incredible kids from this marriage. Gap. I only see my kids 50% of the time. Gain. How has dedicated time made me more present? What quality of connection am I building? Gap. I lost my place in the extended family. Gain. Who can I really count on? What chosen family am I building? Listen, gain thinking is not toxic positivity. The gap is real. The pain is real. We all feel it. But if you only measure yourself against what you lost, you'll always be behind. You'll never recover. Always broken. Gain thinking asks, given this reality, what am I gaining? What am I learning? So here's another personal story. Somewhat silly, but I think you'll understand. I stood in the grocery store staring at peanut M&Ms. It was our candy. We had this goofy game around them. I thought, if I can't decide about M&Ms, how do I rebuild my life? This is gap thinking. Eventually, I realized it's okay to have good memories about M&Ms and our game. And it's okay to buy them for myself. Rebuilding isn't one big decision. It's thousands of little ones, sometimes starting with candy. She didn't own the peanut M&M. I didn't own the peanut M&M. We didn't own the peanut M&M. It's just a fond memory that we had. Here's another example. The first time I introduced myself to my kids' teachers alone. Hi, I'm Justin Milrad, Ethan's dad. Not, we're Ethan's parents. Just me. I felt incomplete, like half a person. The gap. I'm incompatible. I'm broken. I'm a divorcee. The gain. I am complete. One parent fully present beats 2 parents distracted and disconnected. My kids need to see me as a whole. Modeling wholeness might be the most important gift I can give them. The choice is powerful, and you have this choice right now. You can drift, react, let life happen to you. 5 years from now, you'll wonder, how did I get here? Or you can choose authorship, write your next chapter, become who you're consciously deciding to be. So here's an exercise. Get your paper or your notes app. Put 2 columns, gap and gain. Write 5 roles or identities you lost. For example, part of the extended family, daily co-parent, business partner, family organizer, someone's spouse. Now for each gap, write a gain. What are you learning? Gap, part of the extended family. Associated gain, I'm building my chosen family, discovering who truly sees me. Gap, daily co-parent. Gain, I'm more present and intentional. Quality over quantity reveals deeper connections. Gap, business partner. Gain, I'm discovering my own voice, learning what I value. Do all 5, be honest, take a photo, Review it when you spiral into gap thinking. Let's talk about some pathways to me. You're not starting over. You're like a tree that's been pruned. Looks like a loss, all those branches gone, but underground, the root system is strengthening, going deeper. What grows back will be fed by roots that reach depths the old branches never required. Everything you learned comes with you. You're not erasing the past, you're integrating it. But this only happens if you choose it. It's a conscious choice. Are you going to write your next chapter or drift? Here's how you make that transition from we to me consciously, deliberately, powerfully. In my book, You 2.0, I talk about 4 core principles. Principle 1, unearth your core values. Values are your foundation, the principles guiding your decisions. Research shows that people who clarify and live by their values rebuild more meaningfully. My client Mark felt stripped after divorce. His turning point, he chose to define his values: integrity, presence, and growth. These became his filters. Every choice, co-parenting, self-rebuilding, even his fitness, he asked, which option aligns with the man I'm choosing to become? He transformed his time with his sons. He chose quality over quantity, really listening, really showing up, adventures, teaching them guitar, playing golf. Our family didn't end, it changed shape, and I got to choose what shape my part would take. Mark's gain. I learned being a dad isn't about quantity or one roof. It's about the quality of presence. I'm a better father now, more present, more real, Mark told me. So here's an action. Journal this week. What are 3 values that matter most to me right now? How do I define each? What's one action this week that honors each value? So let's talk about principle 2, reigniting your passion. Passion fuels vitality. When you engage in flow, you're rewiring your brain for resilience. So here's another personal story. About a year into my divorce, I saw someone post about finishing a triathlon. I thought, that looks terrifying. I could never. And then I stopped. That's exactly the thinking that kept me small. So I signed up for a sprint triathlon. Me, someone who hadn't done anything athletic like that in years. Sure, I ran some 10Ks, a few half marathons here and there, but man, a triathlon, that's a lot. The training was hard, but I started discovering who I was becoming. I completed that first triathlon, then a second. I've now finished 5. My gain, I discovered I'm capable of things I never thought were possible. I built resilience. And the unexpected part, I found a whole new community, training groups, race day camaraderie, people who just knew me as Justin, the triathlete, not Justin, the divorce guy. Dancing with the Stars. Someone asked me to participate in a local Dancing with the Stars fundraiser. Friends, I have 2 left feet. I am not a dancer. My kids make fun of me all the time. My reaction? Absolutely not. I'll embarrass myself. But that fear, that's the old me, the one who played it safe. So I said yes. I learned to waltz, to tango. Me, the guy who couldn't find the beat. Was I good? Well, that's not the point. Debatable. I was trying. I chose to step outside my comfort zone and enjoy it. Standing backstage, I realized this is who I'm choosing to become. Someone who says yes to things that scare me. Someone who's alive. The performance wasn't perfect, but the joy, the aliveness, that was everything. Plus, I met incredible people, more chosen family, more connections built on who I am now. The lesson. It's not about being good. It's about being willing to try, to be a beginner, to discover parts of yourself you didn't know existed. So here's the challenge. What scares you that might also excite you? Don't wait to feel ready. Choose it, even if you're not ready. When you choose these things, you don't just find activities, you find people. You build community based on who you're becoming. Principle 3, define your authentic self. Divorce exposes how much you compromised. Now you ask, who am I when I'm not performing? More importantly, who am I choosing to be? For me, I'd been the stable one. Always had it together, never showed cracks, but that wasn't fully me. I needed to be uncertain sometimes, vulnerable. When I started dating, after I'd done the work, I showed up authentically, honest about fears, struggles, and hopes. The right person didn't run away. She appreciated the realness. And here's a crucial truth: you cannot predict your future. I'm engaged now to an amazing woman I chose from wholeness, not need, someone who did the work too. But some of you might discover me is where you want to stay, happier, more fulfilled alone. That is just as valid. Only you have the answer to what life you want to live and with whom, or beautifully alone. Principle 4: craft your compelling vision. Your vision can't be about what you don't want. It has to be what you're moving towards, and it needs to be your vision, not someone else's. What does your life look like 3 years from now? What are you choosing to create? How do you feel waking up? What kind of people surround you? What are you proud of? When I did this visioning exercise, I saw myself integrated: the dad, the professional, someone helping others, the individual with interests and passions, at peace with whatever my relationship status was, because I knew I was whole. But what made it powerful? I chose to make decisions daily that moved me towards that vision. Every time I chose truth over people pleasing, I moved towards that vision. Every time I chose to try something new, triathlons, dancing, I built that vision. Every time I chose presence with my kids, I created that reality. When you combine intention, choice, and action, you stop drifting. You start creating. Harvard's adult development study found the most fulfilled people continuously redefine themselves, but they don't just accept change, they direct it. They write down their own story. Research on post-traumatic growth shows many emerge with deeper relationships, greater appreciation for life, more authentic self-expression. But that's not automatic. It requires choice and action. You're acknowledging this hurt and I have agency in what comes next. Let's talk about integrating me in daily living. Becoming me doesn't mean never again we. You're still co-parenting, still forming connections. Maybe you'll partner again, maybe not. The difference, now any we is chosen and boundaried, not default and all-consuming. But you have to practice 3 things. First, micro habits of self-care. Daily anchors. I matter. I choose to honor myself. 5-minute morning meditation. A walk just for you. Saying no to one draining thing. Saying yes to one nourishing thing. For me, guitar, early morning swims, cold plunges. These weren't selfish. They were choosing myself. Second, boundaries with your ex. Your family changes shape. The boundaries need to change too. Use apps like Our Family Wizard for logistics. Keep exchanges brief. Stop seeking validation from them. You don't need their permission to move on. You need to choose to move on. Third, language shifts. I always say upgrade your language. Do you say we when you mean I? Defer decisions when you could choose yourself. Practice first person statements. I want, I need, I've decided, I'm choosing. This is authorship. Just remember, this isn't linear. You'll slip into old patterns, seeking validation, people pleasing, abandoning boundaries. I had a setback a year after my divorce. Family event, I caught myself falling into the old role. The people pleaser, I'd noticed. That awareness was progress. Next day, I chose differently. Called a friend, recommitted to boundaries, chose to learn. Identity rebuild is a practice. Every time you slip, you choose again. When you notice yourself slipping, don't spiral, just notice. That's not who I'm choosing to become. Then ask, what's one thing I can do right now that aligns with the person I'm choosing to be? You are becoming, right now, the person you're choosing to be. Whether your future holds partnership or independence, you get to choose. That is power. If you're in the thick of it, raw, hurting, hear this. You are at a crossroads. One path is drift. 5 years from now, you'll wonder, how did I get here? The other path is authorship. That's harder, but it leads somewhere extraordinary. I'm living proof. I did the work. I became whole first. From that wholeness, I chose to build something new. I'm engaged now to an incredible woman who sees me as I truly am. I did drift, but then I took control and I built a life I love. Here's what I learned. I'm capable of more than I gave myself credit for. 5 triathlons, dancing despite 2 left feet, being loved, being an engaged dad when I have my kids. Being vulnerable isn't about weakness, it's courage. My family didn't end, it changed shape, it expanded. Divorce woke me up. The person I'm choosing to be now is more authentic than anything I'd ever built before. You're going to learn too. The question is, passively or actively, as you write your own story. So here's one final challenge. 1, complete that gap versus gain exercise. 2, go to www.reclaimandreboot.me and download free resources. Check out the book You 2.0 and workbook on Amazon.com. 3, within 24 hours, make one conscious choice that honors your me self. Sign up for that class. Have that hard conversation. Spend an hour on something just for you. Start that hobby. Do something that scares you every day. Choose to stop drifting and start writing. One choice, just one conscious choice, intentional, that says, I am the author. I choose what comes next. Just remember, your marriage gave you many things, but it also kept you small in ways you're now discovering. This ending, it's a beginning. You were never just we, you were always you. You get to decide what happens next. Are you going to drift into whatever circumstances make of you? Are you going to choose who you become? That's a question your future self is asking right now. How are you going to answer? Thank you for your courage. Thank you for believing there's extraordinary power on the other side of this pain. I'm Justin Milrad, and this is the Conscious Divorce Podcast. On our next podcast, we'll be talking about positive co-parenting. Until next time, don't drift, choose. Don't react, create. Don't accept the story life hands you. Write the one you want to live. You've got this because you're choosing this.